Hello, and welcome to Outer Spaces, a podcast dedicated to empowering designers and contractors in the outdoor living space. Through this show, I hope to create a powerful resource for you, someone who is trying to grow their company but might not have all the tools and processes to do so. On Outer Spaces, we're passionate about breaking the chains of small mindsets and helping contractors just like you take control of their businesses and their lives. My name is Joshua Gillow, and through my 25 years of dirt under the nails experience, I look forward to sharing tips, strategies, and other contractor success stories here on the Outer Spaces podcast. Now, let's get on with the show.
Hey everybody, this is Noah Tetzner, and I couldn't be more excited today because we have four masculine, energetic, beautiful men that I've had the opportunity to spend the last couple days with, and they're all of them podcasters. Obviously, some of you are listening to this on my own show, and we are here before we get into that, here I'm going to just go through the cast characters. We got Joshua Gillow. We got Zach Day, and we got Ace Haggerty. And we're in Joshua's home doing a Tony Robbins Wealth Mastery event. And you talk about breakthroughs. You talk about my brain just like hurting a little bit because of the just places that I've had to go mentally to unpack some stuff over the last few days, you know. But I mean, this event has just been all about money and really asking the question, what is money and what is your relationship with it? And what are your limiting beliefs about money? You know, what can it do for you? What can't it do for you? So we thought we'd collaborate. We got four podcasts represented here and have a conversation and see where it takes us. But yeah, Joshua, thanks so much for hosting the event. But what has this been like for you, this experience?
Oh, this experience has been incredible for me. It's so beautiful to be able to share and to be able to just sit in a room with everybody that is rowing in the same direction, right? We all just want to understand this more, especially this subject around money, right? Sometimes it runs our lives. It could be your friend. It could be your enemy. It could be so many things. Yeah. And it's only a tool, right? It's only a tool. What I really like about this context of this event is the fact that we talk so much more about wealth than we do talk about just what money is, right? Because they always say money matters, but it's not, you know, it's a magnifier, right? So if you're an asshole and you have a lot of money, you'll probably just be a bigger asshole. If you're really nice and you share and you give and you have a lot of money, there's a higher probability that you're going to give and share more. So it's what's incredible about it is that there's so many emotional connections to this subject. And some people live in scarcity their whole lives around money. Some people live in abundance about money. What makes the difference? Yeah. What shifts that in people? You know, a lot of those patterns that we have and a lot of those limiting beliefs come from our lives. They come from our parents. They come from society. They come from friends. They come from a lot of different things. So what is it in us that makes us react a certain way or treat money a certain way and give it the power that we think it has, but we give it that power. Yeah. Yeah. So that's the exciting part. So to be able to share this conversation with everybody and be able to sit down between the different new items and the breakthroughs and discuss and unpack that, you know, is just, I love doing that in a group. Just absolutely love doing that. So, oh man, it's been great. I love it. Well, you know, Zach, how about you? What are these last couple of days meant to you? You're a business owner. Like, what did you come here with?
Honestly, not much. I wasn't super excited about this event, to be honest with you, because I mean, I'm not really in the position to like really think about wealth right now. Cause I'm 24. I'm just getting my business off the ground. So, I mean, but I've gotten a lot of good takeaways already though. Like it's already been worthwhile. I already want to take action on, you know, investing because it's so important to start when you're young. And, you know, I'm just trying to understand everything, to be honest. Yeah. But it's very, very impactful. Wow. How about you, Ace?
There's been a lot to unpack in this event so far. You know, for me, I'm a little farther down on my journey. Yeah. I've done a whole bunch of things the past 1.5 to 2 years, but finances is one of those things that really just seems to hit everybody at the core. And it's just so funny because in reality, it's just paper. It's just currency. It's just exchanging for a good or service or something like that. But it's such a taboo subject.
Yes.
That we avoid, just like sex or, other such things that people don't want to talk about. What's one of the questions that can just curl somebody within a second? It's asking them how much they make.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or it's like bringing up politics or religion. And it's so interesting because it's not real, right? The government can print money at will, and currencies go up, they go down, they're traded. It's so many different dimensions. And an event like this is just so amazing because we jump into all those different aspects. We jump deep to within ourselves. One of the biggest things for me was just uncovering so many limiting beliefs that I've had about money.
Yeah.
And that gets into stories of who you are, who you were, the meaning that you give to stories. And money is just one characteristic of the overall picture of who we are, how we view life. And so I'm very excited about the 2 days that we've had so far.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to be sharing this journey, especially with people that I care about so much, because the guys that are sitting around me right now, I've known for different periods of my life. And you guys mean so much to me. Create such a safe space, because diving into money and our beliefs and our belief systems behind it opens up a lot of emotion from our past.
Yes, it does.
And so to be able to not only explore that, bring it to light, but dispel those limiting beliefs and create empowering beliefs and healing around something like money is just so important. And so I'm just honored and blessed to be here with you guys. Joshua, the ultimate warrior, opening up your house. This isn't an event. This is a virtual event, and that's powerful enough. But Joshua opens up his house, his home, his heart to his friends, his family, his community, his tribe, and then creates this space where we can all grow and learn and cry. And it's just been an incredible event so far.
Yeah, man, I'll be open and honest with you guys. I have business relationships with some of the gentlemen at this event. And for me, I've always loved work. I've always thrown myself into everything I did, but I've always kept a barrier between being transparent, being vulnerable, being honest, having open conversation with people, and then the relationships that I established through my work. Even when I was like a teenager, like 14, 15, had a job at a grocery store, like people would ask me, hey man, you want to, hang out and go to the pizza after? And I'd be like, no, I'm here to clock in and clock out,
Yeah.
But, so I was super intimidated coming here for that reason. I was like, man, if I open up about something, people are going to subconsciously think this about me or whatever. And then I came here and I realized, don't you get it, Noah? Those people aren't thinking about you like that. They're not thinking about wealth or money or, an exchange of value like that at all. So for me, I'm just the ability to talk. I think this is the first time in my life I've ever had such open and honest conversations about wealth and money with people.
Yeah.
From all different backgrounds, all different experience levels and age levels. And I've already gained, it's been, day 2 and I've already gained so much. One conversation that I had with somebody was worth the whole trip,
Yeah. And it's crazy, as men, we don't want to talk about this stuff.
Yeah.
Wealth is one thing that we want to keep near and dear to ourselves, because if anybody knew how much we made or didn't make, or what do we look like we're making versus what we are, it's nobody wants to talk about that. And you mentioned 2 words, which I think are really interesting words, especially for men. It's a concept of being vulnerable.
Yeah.
Right. The concept of being vulnerable or honest. And women have this figured out. Us guys, we're still way beyond, or well behind all of them. They love to talk things out. There are no problems, fear and emotion. But guys, it's not that way, right? Guys got to be strong, keep the stiff upper lip. This isn't what we do. But in order to be vulnerable, then you have to share something that can be weaponized. My wife and I had a really deep conversation about this after Date with Destiny, about the difference between vulnerability and honesty. Think about that, right? So vulnerability is, if I say something to you, Noah, and you can take that information and weaponize it against me, that makes me vulnerable. I got a spot, if I had armor on, there was a spot you could put an arrow in.
Yeah.
Right. So vulnerability is weaponizable, where honesty, if you're being honest, you just say it. You don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Right. You just say, dude, here's what I'm struggling with. Have you ever gone through this before? The next thing you know, somebody said, well, yeah, dude. I'm like, how many times have you seen in this event in only 2 days when somebody, when they ask, hey, has anybody ever had this issue where they're telling a story and you see others raising their hand? I think I saw one of the guys, he goes, I thought I owned that shit. Like there was something about some kind of mental thing where he had he kept telling himself it wasn't enough or whatever it was. And he's like, man, I thought I owned that shit. And I was like, no, that's not yours, dude. You can't have that. It's like we all do that, right? So it's just having that space for people to just open up and be like, you know what? I'm just going to say it out loud. And once you name it, you can tame it. You don't realize how much that thought, that limiting belief is running your life and how many opportunities it is crushing for you that you don't even have the opportunity, whether it's at home with your family or whether it's a business opportunity or it's a relationship in some way. That constant record on your brain telling you you're not enough or whatever it might be for you, it's killing your life and you don't even know it's happening. You just call it yourself.
Yeah.
It's just me. This is how I am. This is how my mother was. This is how my father was. This is how my kids are, whatever. You make up some bullshit. And the problem is you believe that junk.
Yeah.
And then we're talking about money this time around. And that's a gigantic thing. Ace said it earlier. It's like the subject of sex. Like you don't go out and think, hey, unless you're joking with your buddies or whatever, right? But I mean, in general, you don't have deep conversation about that subject.
Right.
It's like, no, you keep that to yourself. And then you just make all these stories up around it. But it's fun. It's a fun subject to have a conversation around. It's great to see people opening up and really feeling okay with that, especially as men.
Yeah.
It's important.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, what are some limiting beliefs that you, Ace, came here with, if you're willing to share?
Oh, man. I had a whole list.
Good.
When I love coming to these events in general, whether it's Tony Robbins or Joe Dispenza or whoever. And whether we're talking about wealth, whether we're talking about business, whether we're talking about relationships, for me, a recurring theme seems to keep popping its head. And it's one of those questions that a lot of men ask themselves, because you can mask it, say, oh, it's a money thing, a money belief, or it's a relationship belief. Yeah. But it all boils down to the same thing for me. And that's, am I enough?
Yeah, I'm the same one.
Same, yeah.
And for anybody listening that listens to my podcast or has read my book or seen anything that's posted on social media, I've done a whole hell of a lot in these past 18 months. I have completely transformed my life. I make it a point every day to empower myself with routines, new routines and rituals and things like that. And then you bring up a new subject, money. And then you start digging into your belief system about it, the stories you tell yourself. And for me, it all comes down to, am I enough? Because I do have stories, because I have taken risks in my past. I've had business partnerships that have gone the wrong way. I've had business deals that have excelled, and I've had business deals that have failed.
Yeah.
I've made a lot of money and I've lost money too. And it's breaking that pattern, because you can have that pattern with relationships.
Yeah.
You can have that pattern with pretty much anything else. And so the reoccurring theme for me was that belief that I'm not enough.
Not enough for what? Like not enough, like worthy enough to receive the money?
That's actually part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not worthy enough to receive the money that I feel like I want to have for my life. To feel that I'm not capable enough,
intelligent
that I'm
enough,
not smart enough. I haven't, done enough. What's the right way of saying this? See, I'm even struggling trying to put it into words. Like, it's like one of these elusive things where you look at it and then it moves and it's gone,
sneaky.
And I feel like one of the things I've been struggling with money is when you chase money for chasing money, it's elusive.
Yeah.
I said this the other day, like football, for example, you try to score a touchdown, obviously. Joshua knows a lot about football. And
what are you doing?
And so it's like you get closer and closer to the goal line.
Yep.
And then the goal line seems to keep getting pushed back.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because you're so focused on money and making money. And you're just losing the whole point of it.
Right.
And until you deconstruct and get rid of those limiting beliefs that you aren't enough, because everybody is enough. Everybody was created for the exact purpose that they are here today. They just have some bullshit story and it's not their fault.
Yeah.
It's not my fault. But in our heads, we construct what our stories are, and they can be empowering or they can be disempowering. And so those have been that reoccurring theme of not feeling enough has creeped its head up.
Yeah.
Just this time in the form of money for me.
So there's a lot of people out there that kind of just work for the paycheck. They just work the 9 to 5. They don't like their job and they don't have like that purpose. Do you think like that's always the case, or like do you think
there's
like can you always align your purpose with getting the money? Is the question.
I believe you can. I know there's a lot of people out there that say, do your job, you know, say you're a janitor or something like that.
Yeah.
My father was a janitor and he loved his profession. Did he love cleaning? It came with part of the job, but he loved serving the people at the building he worked at. And he found such joy and pleasure in being able to serve those people and have a relationship with them. He got to joke around, got to know about their families. They knew about our family. And it was just a magical place for him because before that, he was a lot more quote unquote successful at a job that he could care less about.
Yeah.
But being a janitor, he loved it. And so I honestly believe that people that say you can go to a job and then find happiness outside of a job. You can work for money, but not be passionate about it or have it be part of your mission and do that outside of your 8 to 5. I think that's complete bullshit.
Yeah. I feel like so many people chase the money and they never find their purpose.
Yeah.
I think it's just people selling themselves short.
Yeah.
I honestly believe that's what it is. It's that story where like, I'm not happy with my job, but I feel stuck.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to find happiness outside of it, whether it's with my family or my friends, my community. And all of that is super important. But when you're saying that your career, your mission can't line up together.
Yeah.
I think that's a cop out. 100%.
Yeah. They're focusing on certainty and safety.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, okay, well, we know the shoe fits. We keep going back to this 9 to 5. It's not really my love. I don't really love doing it, but it pays the bills. Maybe I'll just find something on the outside of some hobby or something that I'm passionate about. But I think what you're trying to get at, Ace, is the idea that what if you align the two? What if your passion and your career were the same? Like you got such passion and such mission from your career, you know, and you're like, holy moly. So I get to go to work every day. I get to do this. Oh my goodness, pinch me. Yeah. That's how I feel most days. Not every day, but most days. I'm like, I get to do this, dude. Like, this is amazing. God, thank you for another day that I get to do this. I get to have problems to solve. I get to get out there and help people and empower people and create teams and just watch people do what they love to do, right? Aligning passion and career together. It's so amazing to see that happen, to think others don't think that way. They think, well, I gotta, I go to work, make the money, and then go out and have a good time. Just if you're listening and that sounds like you, or you know somebody like that, just think about what if they could wake up tomorrow and that career and that passion would be aligned, where when they went to work, they got fulfilled in the work.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, how many hours?
That's the dream. That's the dream. It's easier said than done.
But how many hours are you spending working? Like if you're working minimally 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 8 hours is a third of a day. And so it's not a complete third of your life, but it's a huge freaking chunk. And if you're going in just to clock in and make a paycheck and leave and you're not getting anything out of it, like, I'm sorry, that's a very sad way to live your life. And I don't know. I can't get on board with that.
No, yeah, you're just giving your time away. You're just wasting the time.
You're a horse trader at that point.
Yeah, and time's our most precious commodity.
Yeah.
Like, why would you give your time away to something that doesn't bring you pleasure? Like, if it's the money, I'm sure you can find something else that makes the same amount of money, because if you're not passionate about that job, you know, like let's say you are a janitor or something like that, or you work at a bank or something like that, and it's not bringing you satisfaction, you could probably find something else. You're just making excuses why you can't do something else.
The certainty or the comfort that exists with it. Maybe they've got a good benefits package, or you get those 2 weeks off in the summer that you always want, and the other place might not do that. Or going on, you know, starting a business might be scarier than hell.
Yeah.
Right. Going out there and saying, holy shit. Like,
it's not for everybody.
It's not. I mean, you gotta be ready to ride the horse.
Yeah.
Because it'll throw you off left and right if you let it. Right. And you've got to just keep getting back on that thing. That is for certain types of people. It's not for everybody. You're right. But at the same time, they talk a lot at this event about wealth, what true wealth is. Right. And that was really, I like the way that they pronounce it, because it's not the money and the wealth aren't the same, because wealth is about so much more, you know, and we get deeper into it. And the fact that what if we could set up a system? In this case, they talk about what's called the money machine, where you save portions of whatever you make, whether it's in a business or in your personal W-2, and you're putting a percentage away, and you do it automated. So that each month, each week, whenever you get paid, it goes out into this account and you then automatically save. When you do that, you can be purposeful with your money. Now, the goal is to live with everything that's left. So you're paying yourself first.
Yeah.
Right. You're putting you're building that dream bucket. You know, you're filling those buckets up so that you have a security fund, so that when, you know, things happen, COVID happens, you're like, oh my God, I remember when COVID hit. And one of the first things we did as a family is we sat down, and even my father-in-law from Germany called. He's like, okay, everything's shutting down. How do you know, to my wife and I, how are you guys set for, you know, if we got to hunker down for 6 months to a year and the whole economy shuts off because we don't know what's happening, what does it look like? And we're like, we're good.
That's awesome.
Right. It was like, we're savers. That's what we do. So we're like, we're good. We can go, actually, we did the calculation. We can go 3 years right now just on liquid without even going to the bank. You know what I mean? So it's like, we're okay. Yeah. Obviously, we could simplify what we're doing and keep costs down and all that too. But the reality is, like, to have that security, it's because we decided years and years ago to start saving money and just putting it to the side, a percentage, and it's non-negotiable. Our lifestyle comes in after that. We pay ourselves first. So what they're talking about here is real. It has helped me sleep at night like you wouldn't believe. I sleep like a baby every night.
Yeah.
And they talk about to have true wealth means that when you're sleeping, you're actually becoming wealthier. Right? Yeah. Through money, your accounts are growing and all that. And that's the beautiful part. Like, think about a world where when you go to bed, and when you wake up, your account is bigger and all you did was sleep. You know, and it's not about just passive income where it's like, oh, because that's a big buzzword now. Like, I get some passive income. Like, I'm going to do nothing and I'm going to get all this passive income because I'm entitled to it.
Yeah.
That's bullshit. You got to work. You got to add value. That's another big premise of this event, right?
Yeah.
It's how do you add more value than anybody in your market?
Yeah.
How do you fall in love with your client in a way that you can add so much value that they're going to pay you what it's worth plus because you are just that good at it? That needs to be your mission.
Even if you're a W-2 employee, let's say, I'm going to keep going back to the whole janitor thing. I like this. It's good. It's good. But if you're going to sweep those floors, be the best damn floor sweeper you can be, because guess what? People notice that.
Yeah.
And you're going to get promoted and you're going to get opportunities presented to you. And we talk a lot about energy, and I'm just going to jump right into it if you guys are okay with it.
Yeah.
Money, to me, where I'm at on my journey, I've been jumping a lot into consciousness lately. Been talking about it on my show. To me, money is just a different form of energy, just like anything else is in this world. And the people that are adding value to this world, that are at a higher energy state. Why do we jump around at Tony Robbins all the time to get into a peak state?
Yep.
Because when we're at a higher energy frequency, we're giving that energy out. And ultimately, from the law of attraction, we're going to be getting that back. And the same thing happens with money. You have to give before you can receive.
Yeah.
And like Master Cho just said just 1 hour ago, when you give, now you're opening up space to receive.
Yes.
I love that.
So if you want to talk about consciousness and energy, that's great. If you want to put it in regular terms, if you're sweeping those damn floors with energy and excitement, or you're a bank teller and you are just killing it with your clients, making their lives happier just from showing up to the bank, people are going to notice that. You're going to get promoted. You're going to get more money. Yeah. It's plain and simple.
Ace, do you think there's a spiritual connection with money?
100%. They're one in of the same.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And the deeper I go into this, the deeper I go into my spirituality, the deeper I go into money.
Yeah.
It's all the same game. Yeah. We all, whether it's, like I said, money, relationships, our career, our health, our fitness, all of that. Like if you went to the gym, Zach, you go to the gym a bunch, right? If you went to the gym with a little bit with very low energy and you're just like doing a couple curls and you're not into it, like you're not putting that energy into your workouts, are you going to get a good workout?
No.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's the times even with working out, when I'm getting pumped up to go to the gym and I'm at a higher energy level, I lift more.
Yeah.
I'm more present while I'm lifting and I get a better workout because I can feel it during and after, but then I'm not even as exhausted afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm even more energized.
Yeah.
And Joshua knows because I'll send him a Marco Polo of just like freaking out because I just got done with a workout like at 5:30 in the morning.
Beasted it. Yeah.
And so,
yeah.
And so the one thing that I'm starting to understand about money is just like any other law of energy. Everything abides by the same universal principles, the universal laws of the universe. Mm-hmm. And money is no different. And when you start looking at it like that, and also looking at it like it's a game, because it is just a game.
Yeah.
It's not as different as playing Monopoly.
Yeah. 100%. Dude. Now I'd be curious to get your guys' thoughts on this. Like, and then I want to talk more with you guys, but like, so I found that because there are times, and it's an easy pit to fall into, where I'm just like incessantly thinking about money, like frick, like, this person, is no longer with my business, client wise, they churned or whatever. Like, I have this new expense. I have this, and this. And I found that during the periods where I just let go and I'm not even thinking about money, I'm only thinking about, man, like that one client, I just love his energy and I can't wait to work on his project. Like it's like a light switch.
Yeah.
I just,
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can definitely relate to that for sure.
I got to share this. I recently had this thing happen to me where I called my father today because he's been kind of a, that's like traditional, is like kind of a father and son, like, the money relationship or whatever. And I called him today because I haven't felt like just a sense of insurity of abundance since like 8 months ago, before I attempted to do some really, difficult things in my personal life. And I called him today and I was like, Dad, like, I get it, man. Like, I just have like such a sense of just like surety that things are going to be okay. And that like God has put in me so much value to give.
Yes.
I just got to find the people to give it. And there was a couple stressful financial situations I found myself in before I came here. And I shared some of that with you guys and on my own podcast, actually. But one of them is I was in a situation where there was a potential lawsuit at play. And like I wouldn't have made money on the lawsuit. The guy that I would have engaged with wouldn't have made money. But, that's just my fight or flight, man. Like, hey, if you're going to pick on me, like, let's go. And I was scared shitless. I don't want to go to court. I've never been to court before, but I was like, you know what? If we have to go, let's go. And ultimately the gentleman, peace be with him, he was in the wrong. And I was like, I just don't see him letting it go. Okay. And it was a real estate lease. And he texted me this big, long paragraph today, a book. It just, why I was wrong. And I'm like reading this. I'm like, fuck. And then the very last sentence said, but Noah, thank you for the learning opportunity. And I just sent you the check for this. And it was a pleasure, working with you. And I was like, this doesn't happen, this doesn't happen. And in my interpretation of that experience was God was like, no, you finally learned your lesson, bud.
Yeah.
You're totally released to that. You know, because just from what I've been learning the last 2 days, I wasn't thinking about that.
Yeah.
You know, like who cares? You know, if I have to go through some more period of loss, oh well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was my just a great takeaway from this event personally. But yeah,
you know what? Another thing that you may want to try at some point is when you have a confrontation with somebody or you're conflicting whatever in business or in life, the first thing we want to do is be right. Right. The first thing we want to do is find all the reasons why they're wrong and why we're right. That's the ego protecting itself.
Yeah.
Right. And even if we're right or wrong, it doesn't matter. My suggestion, anyone listening out there, anybody around this table, when that happens, pray for them. Just send them love.
Yeah.
You don't know what they're going through.
Yeah.
You just don't know what this guy was going through. I've had plenty of ups and downs in 26 years of business.
Yeah.
A lot of clients that are super happy and some that aren't happy, right? You can't please everybody. That's just not going to work. But I used to hold that personally. I used to blame myself that I wasn't enough, that something didn't happen right because I didn't watch. It's not perfect. It has to be perfect all the time. And that's an illusion, right? Perfection's an illusion. But I found that when I just stopped and those same people, actually, I have a story about this. This is going to be very interesting. I was doing an event. I'd love events, immersion events like this. And we were doing one in Fresno, California. It was 95 degrees out that day, middle of summer. And we were in an EP, which is a sweat lodge, right? So they had the sweat lodge built. There's probably 20, 25 of us, men and women mixed in there. And it's already 95 degrees outside. They're in a fire pit outside of the NEP, which just imagine it like a really big igloo, right? And you sit on the ground inside and there's a hole in the middle and it's all covered. But you come in the one side, you kind of crawl in and find a spot. And then they bring in these rocks that are about the size of watermelons. They call them the grandfathers, which are the volcanic rocks that they've put in a wood fire to heat up, superheat, and then bring them into this NEP, put them in the depressed area in the middle, and then they'll actually dump water on it to create the steam, kind of like a sauna, right? It's really what it's about. And as soon as everybody's in, they bring these rocks, these heated rocks in, and then they close the doors and they just start dumping water on them in order to steam up. And then you just feel the heat rising and rising and rising and rising, right? So the interesting part is you get to a certain point where they say, look, this was a whole process, right? It was an extreme process. And they get there and there's a whole purpose behind this. It's not just a parlor trick, right? So they get in there and they say, okay, as the heat goes up and the heat goes up and you can pull yourself up to the top where it gets just, you breathe and it hurts. Like you blow on your arm, you feel like you're a dragon blowing fire on you. It's just so hot in there. And they say, okay, now think into your life about people who have wronged you, people you hold anger and hatred for. And they said, it's time to let them go. So in that extreme area, you're baking, like you're inside of some kind of a crock pot, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, you need to let this go. So forgive that person.
Wow.
And you could just hear people, men especially, just screaming names. I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. Right.
Wow.
And I had a couple of clients at that time, and that were just riding my ass. And I'm like, I forgive you, Justin. I forgive you.
Yeah.
And there's this release that goes away. It's like they don't hold power over you anymore.
Yeah.
Because we choose to let them do that. We choose to let them have that power over us. They're probably sitting home thinking about what they're going to watch, what they're going to drink. They're not thinking about you. And yet you're sitting here thinking like, oh my God, this all got messed up. I messed it up. We just have to learn how to uninternalize that, if you will. Not a great, to just let that go. And we did it in that NEP. And it was, ever since then, I've realized that in different events, Date with Destiny, I talk a lot about this, about effective blaming and all this. But when you get into the idea that you can actually just love on somebody who's coming at you as an adversary, something happens, dude, in the universe. You see things all of a sudden course correct themselves automatically. And you're like, didn't see that coming, but I have no hatred in my heart. I will not have it in there.
Yeah.
I will not have that. So even if I don't agree with you, I'll still love you.
Yeah.
It's okay, because I will not give that space. So my point is, at the end of that conversation or the end of that long email or text, maybe he came to a point where, or maybe you came to a point where you're like, hey, well, we've got plenty of abundance. We're good. We'll figure it out. Next thing you know, the release of that energy to the universe. And then he felt it and just said, hey,
yes,
good. But you have to do it first. You have to let that release. You can't let that. The more you fight back and forth, the more you're going to have that fight. He's going to put his heels deeper in the ground.
Right.
And it's like, all right, let's just figure out how we can make this a win-win.
Yeah.
Well, that's what this whole event is really about. It's becoming first aware. You can't change anything if you're not aware of it first.
Yes.
And so being aware of your situation, being aware of your limiting beliefs or your beliefs around money. Once you're aware of it, now you have the choice. You can decide what to do with that.
Yeah.
Am I going to let this continue to control my life, or am I going to control it, or am I going to let it go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so powerful being able to really face yourself and face that reality and not putting blame on it either.
Dude, and that is what I love about this event. Like, there are people on a massive like pendulum of experience levels when it comes to wealth and money and so forth. Yep. And I just so feel this at this event. And I was having a conversation with Ace, I think it was last week. And I had shared like, what I love about this is like, there's just no judgment, because people are raw. People are sharing, you know, their limiting beliefs and whatnot. And it's like, you know, somebody's problems might be way different than yours, but they are as real to them as yours are to you.
100%.
Oh, and Ace, you taught me that, man. You showed me that.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Ace rocks. So Noah, I'd love to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of listeners out there have never done an immersion event.
Yeah.
You know, especially the men out there, right? We don't do that stuff. You mentioned earlier in this podcast that you had some reservations for coming. Could you tell us a little bit more? I know you mentioned your business and all that. Could you tell us a little bit more about what those emotions felt like when you're making the decision? Because I know when I asked you, like, yeah, okay, let me take a look at this, right? And I could tell, dude, it's okay.
Yeah,
there's no judgment.
Yeah.
So it's like, I would love for you to unpack how you decided to do something for the first time, come to a group of people who we've only ever met really online, right? We've only ever worked remotely. And then to say, yes, I'm going to spend money. I'm going to go to this event. I'm going to be completely out of my comfort zone, and I'm going to just see what happens. How did you get from, I don't know, to hell yeah?
Yeah. Oh, that's such a good question. Yeah. I mean, I had a lot of, just like misconceptions, limiting beliefs coming here. You know, I am not a member yet of the Tony Robbins community, you know, so I'd never done anything like this. You know, you talk about Joe Dispenza, Tony Robbins. I hadn't done anything like that. And I was like, okay, like this is going to be, no offense, of course, because it's all wrong, but this is going to be a lot of alpha males, you know, a lot of, you know, big energy. You know, it's going to be a lot of like showmanship and, you know, who's the smartest person in the room and, you know, who has the biggest breakthroughs, the biggest success story. And, you know, there's going to be silent judgment if you're not quite up to par with people. And, you know, and I had come to the point where I was like, you know, cause I was hemming and hawing on whether or not to go to the event. And ultimately I had just, I don't know. I was just like, I need to do it. Like, if I can't do this, what can I do? You know, like, both from like the business side, I was like, man, if I can't take 4 days away from my work, then I'm a failure of a business person. Yeah. Like you know, the money that I make, the money I have in my account, whatever, that is worthless. If I can't take 4 days away and, you know, it just at least put some systems in place to do it. And, I was like, you know what, like ultimately, it's kind of like when you're at the gym, right? Like, and Zach, you could speak to this better than I, but that's what I've been told is, like, like nobody gives a shit how much of an idiot you look like on the treadmill. Like they're just thinking about themselves. So I was thinking, you know what, everything anybody says to me or does to me at this event, like they're doing it for them. So I need to be doing it for me, you know? And that's the point that I came to. And I came here and like, I was just like, totally different than what I expected. Yeah. You know, and that's I'm glad to be here. So
that's awesome, brother.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Oh yeah.
You've been pretty quiet over there, Zach.
Yeah. It's
what's going on?
I don't know. It's getting late.
Late for you? This is the time you start waking up, isn't it?
True. Yeah, it's true. I don't know.
Last night you were all fired up.
What were some of the takeaways you've gotten so far from this event?
Just that I really have to take action and start saving, even though like I'm not like in the position to start saving just because, you know, where my business is at, but I have to start like right now. And I already want to do like the bucket thing. Like every paycheck we're putting a little bit away, you know, and then I also want to get a financial advisor, get someone else to take care of it. Someone that's like way smarter than me. So, those are my biggest takeaways. I noticed that I'm in the teenage phase. There's a bunch of different phases. I was definitely in the teenage phase, just kind of going after the dreams, like getting the money and be like, oh, I have this money. Let's go do this. Yeah. Because it's just fun. Yeah. That's just how I am. Impulsive, I love the adrenaline rushes. I love going on vacations and traveling. So it's kind of where I'm at, but I have to take it back a little bit.
Yeah. The cool thing about people your age, young, mid, late 20-year-olds, is that once you get involved in this game, and you can talk about the cool, fun stuff like real estate investing and all of that. But even if you get into index funds and stocks and bonds and things like that, and just take a certain percentage like we were taught and just put that away every month.
Right.
10%, let's say you make $1,000, put $100 away.
Yep.
Live off the rest, like Joshua was talking about earlier.
Yep.
The earlier you make that decision, the compound effect comes into play, because it's not going to just go from 100 to 200 to 300.
Mm-hmm.
It's over time, it's going to compound. So you won't see massive amounts of change early on.
Yeah.
But as you consistently do that, and once this becomes a habit, you're going to forget about it. You're just going to automatically do it. You're probably going to set something up with your bank account to automatically do it. Mm-hmm. So you don't even expect.
You almost don't even realize it at that point.
And that game starts to become fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People, when you focus on things like that, people get excited. They're like, oh man, I have all this money left over at the end of the month. Fuck it. Let's do 200 a month. Let's do 300 a month. And then next thing you know, 10, 15, 20 years from now, you're sitting on millions of dollars because you haven't not messed with it.
Yeah.
You follow the rules of the economy. You follow the rules of money. And the earlier you do it, the better you're going to be.
Yeah.
Because time is your friend. That's really what it is. And being 24 years old,
yeah,
time, and you're like, holy crap, $300 a month. It sounds like a lot now, but it's like, okay, how do I raise my value so I can get my value to the world? How can I add so much value that 300 will be nothing? Mm-hmm. So I can put that away first. And then just like you saw with the compounding, you look at it and you say, all right, 10 cents over 18 doubles turns to 13,000.
Yeah.
10 cents doubled to 20 and blah, 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 all the way up 18 times, you get over $13,000. And, the difference of doing that versus not doing it, or doing it at a different age. They also show that at the event. Like if you wait 8 years, until you're 8 years older, and then start saving up through the difference between of those 8 years because of the time factor, that compounding at the end is really because think about, it's not going to double, of course. You're not going to put your money in the stock market. It's going to double every year, of course. But if you think about 6 or 8 conservative, percent a year, you think, okay, good. If it's 6 or 8%, but you're 6 or 8% of 10 cents versus 6 or 8% of 13,000, there's a big variable there, right?
Yeah.
So my point is that it's the earlier you start, the faster you can start accumulating that critical mass, they call it, right? The critical mass where it'll start to really expand. And if you look at those charts, you'll see that by like the age of 75 or 80 years old, whatever, 65, whatever the chart says, you see it go from like 3 million to like 3.6 million. Like 1 year, it's like it bumps way up. You're like, holy crap, that's like right before you die.
Yeah. Like, so it's hard to think that forward in the future.
It's true, because we just want to live now. We don't know if we're going to live tomorrow, right? So we also just spend everything we got now.
That is my thought process, but you also got to think like the reason why would be for my future family. Yeah. That's why I have to do this.
100%. So Zach, what was your money story? Like, what was the narrative you told yourself up until this point?
Dude, honestly, like not much. It's pretty quiet. I've had a lot of money with my other business, and I kind of made it. I kind of could do whatever I wanted with the money, and then I kind of almost like lost it all, and then I'm kind of like on the come up again now. Yeah. So I don't have a great relationship with money. I kind of just spend it as it comes in right now.
Sure.
But yeah, I guess I thought I was like too young to start, and really investing, putting money aside. Yeah. I'll do that later is kind of like what I thought.
That's a good story.
Yeah.
That's great. That is a story.
Yeah.
Right there. You're too young.
For sure. Yeah.
Doesn't make sense yet. I'm just going to live, and that's what my buddies do. So I'm not going to tell them I can't go out to the bar or I can't go on a vacation because they're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
They're just burning through it as fast as they get it because they don't know any better. Mm-hmm. We all start. I started that way too.
Well, I think financial education is one of the biggest disservices that happens in this country.
Yeah.
Or maybe even in the world. Like
you'll get calculus, but you won't understand how to balance a checkbook or what an IRA is or what index fund would be.
Bullshit.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, this stuff, most of it's really common sense and it's very simple and easy to understand and easy to learn. It baffles me why it's not taught in schools.
Yeah. I know.
Because they don't want us to know.
It's an old archaic model that's designed to pump out factory workers.
Yeah.
That'll work for 50 years and hope like hell they get a pension. That's what it's designed for. But as eventual parents here, you guys and me as a parent, it's our jobs to teach financial education to our children. During COVID, as soon as the world fell apart and then the stock market went way down, my kids are like, well, I got like a couple $100. What should I do with it? I'm like, let's go take a look at some stocks. Everything's burning, baby, just when you go in the building. Yeah. So we started buying stocks. They put their $300 in a piece and they picked. I said, what do you want to do? Well, I'm going to buy some Uber. I'm going to buy some of this. I'm going to buy some. Like, good.
Yeah.
So now they're watching these things and they haven't grown a whole lot. There hasn't been a lot of growth in the market, but they're getting a sense of what it is. And another thing that we instituted with our kids, this was my wife's idea. This wasn't even mine. She says, every dollar the kids earn, they put 50% away. One goes to spending, one goes to savings. It's been from day one, every dollar that comes through, except for like birthday funds and things like that they can spend. But anything they earn comes through, it comes in and it gets held. And the goal is to give them the idea that, hey, just because the money comes in, don't mean I can burn it.
Yeah.
No, they're going to go through that stage. Trust me. When mom and dad aren't watching over their accounts, they're going to burn every fucking dollar. But they're always going to come back to remember how much better it felt to have that cushion in the back. They will always remember, just like teaching kids how to eat well.
True. Yeah.
As soon as they get to be teenagers, they're going to eat all the garbage there is, but they're going to know what their body feels like when it feels good.
Yeah.
And then they're going to come back and they're going to be like, you know what? I don't feel good with this crap. I feel much better eating broccoli than pizza. And they're still going to eat the other stuff too. But the reality is they know a difference.
Yeah.
So, anybody listen out there, if you want to start this and you want to make this generational change happen, you got to start with you and start with your kids right away.
One of the things that I found, and Zach, you could probably relate to this maybe, is like, one of the things I unpacked at this event was, and again, it's like just so cliche, but truly, like you literally are the bums you hang around with.
Yep.
And for me, that's exactly, great people, like creative, fun people, but ultimately like, they are like, with the exception of a select few, like many of whom are at this event, like everybody that I spend the most of my time with the exception of family, is like drastically beneath where I am in life. Yeah. And it's not like income. It's not, it's like just wealth mindset, like awareness, it's just stuff like that. And I don't know. I just think like, as a younger guy, Gen Z, it's just really hard to, like find people of that generation that get it,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why events like these are so crucial, because you meet people that are on your level or way beyond your level.
Yeah.
So,
what I love the most about around this table is the fact you've got two 40-year-olds here.
Yeah.
And we've got two 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I didn't even know that this existed until I was in my 30s.
Yeah.
You guys are so far ahead of the curve. It's incredible. I'm just so proud of you guys for taking the chance and doing something that I know you didn't know before. I mean, you kind of came into it, but this is kind of new for you, but it's like none of your friends are doing it. Like they didn't find out through them. You're just like, all right, well, they seem like they don't bite. We'll see what happens. Right.
Yeah.
Like worst case, I just stay quiet or leave early. I mean, it couldn't be that bad.
Right.
It's hard to explain something like this to like my friends.
Yeah.
Like you try to explain it, but it's just like, do they think I'm crazy now?
Yeah.
So it's like,
it's okay though if they do.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Well, where else are you going to find a couple 40-year-olds that jump up and down for 16 hours in the day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We get like one 25-minute break and then we decide to run a 5K.
Yeah.
And then do backflips in the swimming pool before we go back into class.
Not even summertime yet.
And continue jumping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then shoot a podcast. You've got to bring that vigor and that vitality to life, right? It doesn't come get you. You've got to do it.
Yeah.
You've got to put the energy in. That's why I love Tony Robbins and his teaching, because it's all about creating your life from the physiological standpoint by moving. Because when you move your body, it doesn't directly correlate, but when you move your body, it's like you're charging the battery. And if you feel down, if you feel bummed in a day, just fucking move.
Yeah.
We got a rebounder in my office. I'm like, or go for a walk, go for a run, just do something.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden your energy goes up, your blood pressure, everything goes up. And you're like, holy crap, I'm alive again. I feel like I'm go to the gym, work out, something physical.
Yep.
But you've got to do that. That is your responsibility. That is not a coffee. That is not some energy bullshit drink that's just going to kill you in the long run. It's like none of that shit is real.
Yeah.
You have everything you need inside of you already.
That's right.
All you got to do is use it. And it's not the easy thing. It's not the easy thing. That's why most don't do it.
Right.
But it is the easiest thing to do. You don't have to go to a store for it. You just got to move your body. It's really quite simple.
Yep.
And that's constantly, I was a guy in seminars, and I went to a lot of seminars before I found this style of teaching. And it was so freaking boring. I would fall asleep in class. I was that guy in school. I'd always fall asleep in class, right? Because I was bored out of my mind. Teachers just go on for hours on a monotone. You need to know this about history. And then it's like, oh my goodness, this is horrible.
Yeah.
And then it extrapolated right out into the business world. It's like, this is how you learn. You go to an event and you sit there in the back of the room and you sit there and twiddle your pencil. Like, I could have taught this fucking class.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then you leave and you're like, that was a big waste of the trip to get there and do all this stuff. So when I finally found this style, I'm thinking, holy crap, like I love this, right?
Yeah.
It's like you can jump around, you're high energy, and it's all the content is sticky, which means that you take it home with you. You put it into your life.
Yeah.
It's not something you wrote down in a notebook and you don't touch again. So to be able to now, through MMA and through just being in the world and having events like this, we get to share this now. We know this.
Yeah.
Now it's our job to share it with as many people as we possibly can. Because once they see this, you can't unsee this style of learning.
Yeah.
You can't unsee this. Everything you go to in the future, no, I guarantee you're going to say, not judge, but you're going to think through this like, well, it wasn't quite like Wealth Mastery. Or, because you're like, why wouldn't they just put some music on? I'd jump around for this and I'd finally be focused and connected to it. Like, why wouldn't they do that? I mean, Zach gets to see that too when we go down and work with the Amish. We got them jumping around. We travel around the country and we're like contractors jumping around and they're like, this is really weird.
Yeah.
But
you're like, just clap.
Just clap. Get up. Let's go. Right. It's amazing because I know. And the reason why we do it is not because we want to be cool. It's not because we're trying to be different. It's because we know you're going to go home with more. You're doing it for yourself. It's not for me. It's for them. But it's so interesting because 98% of people across the world have never seen this kind of style of teaching. They just were never exposed to it, just like you had never been, or I had never been, you had never, like all this stuff. So being able to share it on a bigger stage like this and with more people is the mission, because once they do, they won't go back.
And it's so true. Like with these events, and Ace told me this from the start, is like you do get in what you put, or you get out what you put in.
Yep. You got to play full out.
And it's like, like Tony Robbins, like, Joe Dispenza, so-and-so, like these people aren't like the answer, right? At least, I don't think like any one person or one, like, but it's up to you. There's going to be people that go to these events that go to them time and again, and they don't make the changes. Yeah. But that's everything in life. I mean, there's like, like being a realtor is there's people that have great success but like statistically, most realtors are like broke, that's literally everything. You get out what you put in. So
that's you got to play full out. Like that's what we always tell them at our events. That's what he says. If you play full out, you're going to get the most out of this event. So if he says jump 2 feet, you jump 3. If he says, get up and let's go, we get up and go just a little bit longer. If he says, write notes, you write notes, because we're here to learn. It's 4 days. They're 12, 14, 16-hour days at times. So what?
Yeah.
You can sleep and you're dead.
Yeah.
I know you're tired.
Yeah.
I know you're pushing through. I know your back hurts. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You're here now for a reason. Just give it all you got. Leave nothing on the table.
Yeah.
And you know what? You're going to go home a different person, and you're going to show up to life a different person.
Yeah.
Right. Because if you take that same vigor and that same energy to life, to your relationship.
Yeah.
Imagine taking that home, talking to your spouse and having that kind of energy, taking that to your kids, taking that into work, taking that into your hobby or your sport. Imagine taking that just absolute love and energy for life. You changed the game, and it didn't cost you a freaking dollar.
Yeah.
Not a dollar.
Yeah. Just
a state of mind. And if you get down, of course you're going to get down. Life happens.
Yeah.
But I love one of Tony's sayings. It's like, life is not happening to you. It's happening for you.
Yeah.
That shift is so small, but yet so monumental. When you think of every single problem that you've got to deal with and you say, you know what if there's a blessing in this? What if God's trying to teach me something here? Or what if I need to learn a lesson from this in order to grow into the man that I'm supposed to, or the woman that I'm supposed to?
Yeah.
What if this is absolutely the way it's supposed to be, and not that you fucked up or you're not enough? Like my thing that I struggle with the limiting beliefs was, who am I? I'm just this guy from the cornfields of Pennsylvania. Like, who am I?
Yeah.
And that's been holding me back. And I realized that at this event, every event I find something that I can work on. And once I'm aware of it, as Asa mentioned earlier, once you become aware of something, you can't unsee it. And you're like, wait a minute. Oh, great. Now it means I actually have to work on this. Yes. Another problem I get to fix.
Yeah.
Another thing to dive deeper into. Another thing to ask questions about.
Yeah.
Because that's what it takes to get to that next level.
And for me, the big reframe was, because I had some financial setbacks coming here, just taxes and whatnot. But it was like, maybe Noah, like, don't you? And I was like, it hit me this morning. I can't remember exactly what we were doing, but it just hit me like a brick wall. It was like, hey, idiot, like, don't you get it? Like, even though you might not have as much money on hand as you did, don't you get it? You're wealthier than ever before.
Yeah.
Because of like going through those, processing those events and learning from your mistakes. Like the amount of just sheer energy that I have now and will carry with me after this event is rocket fuel.
Yeah.
Like you like capture lightning in a bottle sometimes when you go to these events. I feel like,
100%. It's only day 2.
Yeah. I love it.
I love it. I love it.
Oh yeah. It's been good.
I think one important thing to know and tell everybody who's listening, these events are amazing. These events are transformational. There's no doubt about it. Joshua talked about how this different type of learning can transform you like that. And that's what these events do. But to let people know, when you bring this back home, you bring it home to your spouse, you bring it home to your kids, you bring it home to your friends, your family. Just do it. Don't say what you did because they're not going to understand. Because when you are at an event like this, you're on a different energy level. You are on a completely different plane. And the biggest mistake that people make when they come to events like this is they go home and they want to change everybody to feel exactly what they felt here.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's a mistake.
Yep.
I've made that mistake. So when you go home, Noah, don't tell anybody. Show everybody.
Yeah.
And at the same time, just like when you're super high or you're super low, you're going to come back down. They call it the Tony flu or the Joe flu or or the Gillow flu. Like
but
you
that's
are
a thing.
Yeah. Behind your back, people do talk. Always good. Always good. But just live that new version of you.
Model it.
Yeah.
And understand that this high is going to wear down. But it's your daily discipline. It's you going back to this material. It's you talking to the people at this event.
Yeah.
Staying in contact with them. Because you are going to get pulled back into that lower energy level because you're going to go back to your same life, your same friends, your same relationships, your same job. And to maintain something like this, once again, it's all on you.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people don't want to trouble themselves with this because change is difficult.
Yeah.
It's difficult in the sense because it's unknown and people are usually scared of the unknown.
Yep.
How do I know? I'm fucking terrified of the unknown a lot of times. And I've had to work really hard to push through that, but it gets easier. It gets better over time. It's like any muscle you keep building over and over and over again. That's why people that go to these events, you just don't go to the event once and you've been cured. Life is good forever. No, it's a lifestyle.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
And you have to make that decision every single day. They talk about this with marriage. You have to make that decision every single day in your marriage. It's a choice every day to stay with that person and to be with that person and to make that relationship the best you can. It's the same thing with money.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with relationships. It's the same thing no matter what you do. And the cool thing is, I never thought I was a gym person. Never thought I was.
Yeah.
I was like, a gym? Gyms are just, guys wearing spaghetti straps, drinking their gallon water jugs and grunting all over the place. Super alpha male. I don't know where I got that from. Must have been some weird gym dream I had at one point. I don't know. We'll see.
Gym dreams?
Gym dreams, right? Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh, we're getting deep.
Yeah. We're just getting warmed up.
But you after going to the gym for 6 months, a year, and continually doing it, getting the right trainer, being around other people that take care of their bodies, their physiques, and then having opportunities like I did when I went to y'all's ninja gym. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I fucking slayed it for the first time.
You did, dude. You crushed it.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
It was so much fun, but I wouldn't have been able to do that if I didn't work on my body. And now if I'm not able to go to the gym, like this morning, we got very few hours of sleep and I wasn't going to work out. I was purposeful about it, but there was still a part of me that was yearning to go to the gym. And a couple of years ago, that was not the case at all. I avoided the gym like the plague.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now I love it. And it is such an ingrained part of me. It has become my lifestyle. And that's anything. You just got to stick with it for a few months and have some meaning around it. Get the right coaching.
Yeah.
Empower yourself. And then you're going to be surprised at what you can do. I do athletic things right now. We hike tall mountains. We do ninja stuff. We're talking about doing not our first Tough Mudder, but the toughest Mudder.
Shit.
Yeah. That's 100-pound vest, right? You got to go underwater.
Maybe. Yeah. Probably.
Muddy water.
But, we said earlier today at the break, we do, Zach, you were like, hey, do you want to go for a run? I was like, all right, yeah, let's do it. And so we decided to do a 5K.
Brought the whole crew.
Brought the whole MMA crew.
Yeah.
And we did it. And of course, the three of us are pushing ourselves, even though we said we were going to take it easy.
We did, didn't we?
Kind of.
None of us vomited, so that was easy.
Oh, that's true.
We could have pushed harder.
But you get to grow and learn these new things about yourself and this new way of living. So even though we were pushing ourselves, and at the end, I started to trail because I literally thought I was going to black out. I still was so happy to be feeling so much pain and agony. And at the end of that run, all I could tell myself is don't stop.
Yeah.
No matter what, even if you pass out, that would be better than stopping. Because I have ingrained in my brain and in my DNA that no matter what the fuck I'm doing in my life, I'm never stopping. I'm never quitting.
No.
And to me, running, whether I'm going to pass out, whether I'm going to throw up, I will never stop running until my body physically gives up on me. And guess what? I was able to push myself and my body didn't give up on me. And that's what going to events like this are. You're going to come back home after this event, Noah, and there might be that depression because you're on such a high.
Yeah.
When you're at an event like this.
Yeah.
Post-event crash, yeah.
But just realize it's natural.
Yep.
But as long as you're taking action every single day and using the things that they teach here, then you're going to just keep working that muscle, getting that rep in over and over and over again. There's a lot of people that become addicted to these events, but they don't do anything in their life. I was one of those people because you get such a high.
Yeah.
Your dopamine is through the roof. Your adrenaline is through the roof. At the end of the day, your serotonin levels are insanely high. You feel like you're on drugs. Life high. You're high on life.
Yeah.
And you can get addicted to that.
You can.
But if you're taking that daily action, then all of these things are going to continue to stick and they're going to become a part of who you are.
Yeah.
I can go 16-hour days, 6-7 days in a row, and I'm not tired because I've trained myself to do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I tell myself, whether I'm a participant or I'm a coach in an event like this, I'm going to give it my all the entire day because I love doing this. I'm passionate about it.
Yeah.
I am so passionate about growing and learning because with that power, with that ability, I'm able to give more to people around me. And that's what it's become for me, like coming and facing my fears about money and my limiting beliefs. Do you think I like writing down that I'm scared? Do you think I like writing down that I still am fighting some of these major demons, these major monsters inside of my brain and my body? Like, it doesn't feel good.
Yeah.
But I know it's the way to get through and the way to get better and a way to get through it.
Got to face him.
Yeah.
Got to look him square in the eye. You got to show him who's boss.
Yeah.
You got to see him first.
And so I know I covered a whole bunch of subjects just now and talked about apparently having some weird dreams at the gym.
About the gym. But no, and honestly, Ace, I have to say, like, what I love about this experience so far has been watching other people.
Oh, yeah.
Because like, even the week before this event, Ace, you and I had a awesome, like, just coaching call, like just raw conversation. And I remember I had shared some of the stuff that I was dealing with to you. And then you had shared some of the stuff that you were dealing with to me. And it's not that like your problems were bigger than mine, although they probably were. But I was like, wait a minute, like I know what Ace is capable of. Like, he did the 100-day challenge. Like, he turned around his life. Like, he just steamrolled every fucking thing that came his way. And I didn't have a doubt in my mind that you were going to turn around and like just bulldoze through these problems. And I was like, man, like, so if Ace has these problems and I just know with certainty that he's going to bulldoze through them, like, I can do that to my problems,
Yes. Proximity is power.
It is, because you have these people that you just hold in such high regard, and they're human at the end of the day. Everybody has stuff that they juggle,
Everyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
They all have saboteurs. They all have voices in their heads that are not empowering them. All of them. And some talk about them and they let them out. They can crush them, and others keep them in, and it could destroy them. So that's why these events are so important, especially for men. That's why they're so important. So you asked me why we do this, why I open up the house, why we do all that stuff. It's for exactly what we're talking about right now. Mm-hmm. This is what it's all about. This is what makes it all worth it, because you're talking about it. I know everyone else up there is thinking the same thing. We've done these events before, but some of these other guys haven't. Mm-hmm. And they get a chance to finally be human.
Yeah. That's what it is.
And to be honest with themselves. And once you see that, you don't unsee it. And that's how we change this world. They talk about toxic masculinity. We hear that a lot, right? And there's nothing more toxic than, a man trying to be a man when he's not, or trying to knock other men down because he's not a man. Yeah. That's toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
It's not the ones that are coming purposefully to the table that have done the inner work, the deep work. Right? As Anthony would say, the deep work, to do that hard stuff. And then once you do that hard stuff, you go into the dark night of the soul and you do that hard work, and you come out a different way. You come out a stronger, more capable, dangerous man. That's what the world needs right now. Dangerous in the sense of loving and empathetic and all the stuff that you're told men aren't supposed to be.
And capable.
100%. That's how we change the world. Everybody wants to bitch about everything. That's great. If we can just help one man a day, an event, live a stronger, more masculine life.
Yeah.
Show up better to his family, to his spouse, to his girlfriend, to whatever. Mission accomplished. That's how we change the world. One man at a time. That's what it is. And men love challenges. It's in our DNA. That's why with Mission Mindset Adventure, there's always a challenge.
Yeah.
Because you've got to face yourself. And when you face yourself, when you don't want to, when you're exhausted, when you're absolutely tapped out emotionally and physically, and you're like, I got to do what now? You're going to, like, we're doing that now? Are you crazy? Something happens inside. Something clicks. Like, wait a minute here. And Goggins says it best. He's like, you know what? When you feel a burn and you feel like you don't have any more, you're only at 40%. you still got 60% left in the tank before you collapse, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so if you're only at 40%, how many times in life are you just showing up, getting to that 40% line? I mean, like, that's all I got.
Or even getting that far.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Even getting to the part where it starts to hurt, you know, where problems start to hurt. You know, the problems are good. That means you're pushing.
Yeah.
You gotta, if you have no problems, you're not pushing hard enough. Let's just be honest, right? Because we're human. We don't know everything. So we're going to go into it with what we know. We're going to take our past experiences and project them into the future, right? And we're going to try to worry about that bullshit, try not to. But point is, that's how you're going to predict the future, is by what you did in the past and the experiences you had then. So because this happened last time I did that thing, that's probably what's going to happen again, when it 90% of the time never happens that way. But that's what we want to do. Then we start worrying about it, and we start getting anxiety around that, all the stuff that could happen, and it doesn't. So my point is, if we can have bigger conversations, deeper conversations, as you've been introduced to now, you know, especially as men, we can start healing. We can start showing up as strong, capable, dangerous men to protect our women, to raise strong families, and to change the world one family at a time, one person at a time.
Well, I know you know this, Noah, but for all of those listening, we keep talking about MMA, mission mindset, adventure. Joshua, can you talk a little bit about the events that we hold and the event that we have coming up next month?
Absolutely. Yeah. So we've been collectively here to dozens, if not more, of these types of immersive events. And, you know, everyone has a nuance. They have a certain thing that they do that's amazing, right? That's just what they're known for. And the premise of all of them is that you're going to spend a lot of hours. You're going to go deep into, have conversations. You're going to go deep emotionally. You're going to go hard physically. All of those things come together in this event, right? And it's not designed to be a simple seminar you're going to go to and just learn some shit, write some notes and come home, right? We want, the goal here with any of the ones I've been to and the ones now that we put on, Mission Mindset Adventure, is to dig deeper into, why are you here on this planet? What's your purpose? What are you here for? Because if you don't have a sense of why you're here or what it's all supposed to mean in the end, then how the hell are you ever going to align your life with it? You know, the worst thing you could possibly do is go through life just kind of bouncing off the walls, taking what's handed to you. And at the end, sitting on your deathbed, breathing in your last breath, saying, I have so much regret in my heart. I wish I could have done more. I wish I would have picked up that guitar. I wish I would have ran that mile. I wish I would have been there for my kids, this or that. I wish I would have shown up for my family. You can't get those days back. So what if we start thinking about life with the end in mind? Where do I want to end up? Where's my target? Figure out where my target is, what my purpose is in life. Like what kind of gifts did God give me, and how am I going to use them? How am I going to share them? And then take that and wire it into the body with a lot of fun exercises and stuff like that, different processes. And then we do some type of an epic physical challenge, right? And we've done 2 14,000-foot peaks in the Colorado Rockies. We've done, the Grand Canyon, where we went down to the Colorado River and back, in a day, and just push our bodies then to lock that in.
Yeah.
Because we are so much more powerful than we truly know we are. We are so much more powerful. But until we're actually in an environment where we have to prove that to ourselves, and, you'll let yourself down. I know I have in the past.
Yeah.
Pretty easily, because nobody else is watching. But when you are with a group and you see a bunch of other men, women, whatever, and you're doing this thing, even like running today, we were running along, and some of those paces, I'm like, I could go faster. Other ones, I was like, I could go a lot slower right now and be perfectly happy. But when you guys were picking the pace up, I'm like, I'm not staying back lower. Like, I'm going to push myself right now. There's something that happens. I don't know if it's like that for women. It probably is. But I know for men, it's like, well, if it's almost a challenge. It's like, well, yeah, if they can push that hard, I'm going to push that hard too. Right. And you then learn something about yourself.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it. You when we do have these adventures, they're different. There's something you've never done before. And it's designed to have you be introduced to a different side of yourself.
Well,
right.
The thing I like is we get to do really cool shit. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Seeing the Grand Canyon at night and the sunrise, and to see all those beautiful rocks and everything, like, it was breathtaking. That was a huge bucket list item for me.
Yeah.
So we, on top of growing and growing tribe and community and connecting with people and going deep into ourselves and really figuring out who we are and having all these amazing breakthroughs, we get to do epic shit at the same time.
Yeah.
I just love these events.
Yeah.
I just love being a part of them. I love being able, like Noah said earlier, just seeing the breakthroughs in other people at these events is sometimes even more rewarding than having the breakthroughs yourself.
Yeah,
sure.
Because you get to share that experience with people. And I honestly believe that connection is probably one of the most important things that we can have.
Yeah.
And to get connected at these events, you will get to know people on a deeper level than friends that you've had for 20 plus years.
Yep. 100%.
And for Noah, that would be friends you've had since you were 2 years old.
Yeah. Hey.
To your point though, the tribe that's built in these environments, this is what lights me up, is building the tribe, right? And what I mean by that, for listeners that may not understand, is that when you go through an event like this and you open up and you start talking about real raw life, there's a bond that's created. There's a bond that's created that the next time we talk, we'll go back to things that we talked about here. We'll talk at a different level. We'll communicate at a different level. And to be able to create an environment that others can come to and open up, like, first time you come in and you're like, oh my goodness, to know this exists. And others do the same thing that come in. And then you say, okay, well, each time we do an event, there's more people that are doing it. So we call that the tribe, right? So it's everyone that has this shared experience.
Yeah.
Right. And then you'd be like, well, if you talk to somebody that wasn't at this event, but was at another event, you guys could talk because you know a language now.
Right.
It's like, like, hey, well, when you did this, like, how did you feel about that? Or what about this question? What was your answer for that? Or like, how are you doing with this? And it all communicates, even if it's different events. If you did a Tony event and then one of our Mission Mindset events, and then you did Joe Dispenza, it's all, there's a common thread of it all.
Yeah.
It's personal discovery and personal growth, right? So that becomes the subject you talk about.
Yeah.
And then you're like, wow, so what are you doing to push further? Like, oh, you're going to grow your business by how much this year? How are you going to do it? Who are you going to mentor with? Like, who are you going to hire and bring in?
Yeah.
And they're like, that guy sounds really cool. I mean, think about it, Noah.
Yeah.
The guests that you've brought on our podcasts, how much impact they've had on our lives.
Yeah.
Ace and I have the same personal trainer now because of you finding him.
Yeah.
That decision or that connection that you created has changed our lives. It has taught me lessons that I will have never known. I never would have known. And if it wasn't, to be honest with you, if Ace didn't say, hey, I got a trainer, I was thinking I was going to get one. He's like, I got this guy, but I got this other guy that's like really, really good. I just met him on a podcast. And I was like, I was actually contracted with your other guy already, or at least I gave my word I was going to do it. And that's a contract to me. And he's like, and I'm like, I'm sorry, dude. I have another guy I got to try. Ace says, this guy's the guy. So, but it's those kind of connections. So you're already doing that. You're already creating your own tribe when you're doing that kind of thing. And just the cool people that we get to interview because of people that you find to bring to the table. And then we're like, oh, who's this guy? And then, I could go on to the list of all the cool things that I've learned so far because of that. So we all are adding value to each other's lives, and in different, unique ways. So my point is with tribe is as we do that and you find more value to the podcast world so that we can interview even cooler people and people that are more in alignment for what we're doing. You're here now. You get a sense of what we're doing. When you talk to somebody, you'll know whether they're kind of in this world or whether they're just phonies on the side or whether they're not in it all.
Right.
And you're like, well, these are definitely the right people for these guys. Like I know exactly what it's about. And even other customers the same way. So my point is we all have the ability to add value to this tribe in very different ways. Again, taking the gifts that God's given us and sharing them as much as possible at the highest level of value. So that's the beautiful part about tribe. And then when you're in a situation, whether it's working with a client that's not happy or something going on, or you're having a personal thing going on, you come to tribe.
Yeah.
You come back, you call Ace, you call me, you call Zach, you call somebody else here.
Right.
And you just say, dude, this is what I'm dealing with. And you know what they say? Brother, I got time.
Dude, and for me, like, I just felt like I could be myself here, you know? Like, it's not a mask that I would put on. It's not like, trying to look this way or this way. And, maybe, and for me, it was all about being haunted by my age, right? Like that was the big thing is like, well, I lost the election because I was 22 or 21 at the time. And this missed opportunity because I was 21. And that was like the narrative I sold myself, and it's like, well, maybe if I date a girl who's 35 and drink alcohol in public, people will respect me, or something like that. Maybe if I, dress a certain way or drive a certain car, people will actually respect me. But it's like here, man, I just, Dude,
you know what people are going to really respect?
What?
You being yourself.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Clothes don't matter. Car doesn't matter. I drive a beater of a Tacoma pickup truck.
Yes.
And I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I can pick up the ladies with that truck.
Yeah. Yes.
And it might be my Buc-ee's hat and my Southern charm.
Yeah.
My California Southern charm. No, but those stories that we tell ourselves, I think this is all it comes back to. And these events really bring to light those stories. Because once we illuminate them, illuminate that boogeyman, then we can make the choice we have the power because we can decide what to do with it. So.
Yeah, and to your point, when you said, I feel like I have to be someone else for people to like me. I felt that way most of my life.
Yeah.
I felt like if I just had the right clothes, if I just bought the right car, maybe they would finally respect me. I was always the youngest in the area. When I was doing stuff, I was always amongst older people, and I always felt like the young one. Like, what do I got to do to prove myself?
Yeah.
And what I've realized in my journey is I've wasted a lot of freaking time trying to be somebody I'm not, just to impress other people.
Yeah.
And I said that the time that I finally grasped fully who I am and just started living that way.
Yeah.
Life got so much better. And the right people showed up.
Yeah.
That was the craziest part. And it's because I started to have respect for myself that others started to respect me.
Yeah.
It's an inward game first.
Yeah.
So once you say, this is who I am, God doesn't make mistakes. This is exactly the way I'm supposed to be. It's exactly the way I'm supposed to look, exactly what I'm supposed to talk, exactly what I'm supposed to think. And that's going to be what it is. And the right people will be attracted to that. And the ones that aren't, they aren't the right people. It's okay.
Yeah.
You're not made for everybody.
Yeah.
Right. But that's the authenticity. But you have to be able to just be and not be told like this commercial world tells us that you have to put on this or do that or buy that to be loved.
Right.
You don't have to just be you. That's more than enough.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Absolutely. We can go on for days, guys.
Yeah.
I see Zach's watching the clock here. He's like, holy shit.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Well, one thing I'd like to do that I normally do on my show is towards the end of the episode, ask everyone to just say one thing that they want to leave with the audience, whether it's an idea, a thought, a tool, something they want to share, just one thing for the listeners out there. So
cool. I'll start. This is actually ironic because we're probably going to name this like money, but money is the lowest form of currency. Love it. Learned that from you.
Yep.
He doesn't say much, but when he does,
he just drops it.
You better listen. Yeah. Hold on. That was a mic dropping.
I'm going to go back to the same thing I just told Noah, that you won't get respect from other people until you respect yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying be selfish. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is to respect yourself enough to just allow yourself to be you and not try to be somebody else. And then you'll attract the right people.
Yeah.
That's my nugget.
Man, I would say mine is there's so much I gained from this. But one of the things that I just carried so heavily coming into this is I would say my message is like, it's important to take ownership for mistakes in life. Absolutely it is. You have to have that clarity. But sometimes your greatest mistakes are your greatest lessons. And you don't have to hate yourself for it. The decisions you made, maybe they made sense at the time with the information you had available, but nobody's perfect. And you have to just shift those mistakes into learning opportunities. You just have to change that energy around.
They're blessings.
They are blessings.
Every one of them.
Yeah.
They're blessings.
Yeah.
What I want to leave the audience with, we actually didn't even talk about. And I was thinking about it earlier and forgot about it. But one of the biggest pain points for me so far in these first 2 days was understanding that, and this has to go with money, but once again, it goes with anything in life. Wherever you are in life is because of the decisions you've made in your past. So my financial situation, I'm not happy with it, but it's 100% my responsibility. It wasn't the IRS. It wasn't old business partners. It wasn't my ex-wife. It was me.
Yeah.
And until you realize that and take that responsibility, things aren't going to change. Because like Joshua said, it's an inward game. It's not an outward game.
Yep.
So the biggest takeaway I've gotten so far from this event is that I'm where I'm at today because of the choices I made, period.
That's extreme ownership right there.
I feel like you have to come to peace with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't judge it.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not bad. It just is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And now you know what it is. What the fuck are you going to do now?
Yep.
What are you going to do tomorrow?
It's not your identity. You're not a piece of shit. You know?
No.
Yeah.
That isn't my identity.
Yeah.
Never has been, never will be.
That's right. So you want to wrap us out here, Noah?
Yeah, man. This has been so good. This has been a pleasure. You know, one of the things I said I wanted to do with you guys coming out here was record a podcast. I don't know. It's like just a form of love to me. You know, it is. I've been podcasting for a long time, but I love creating content with people. And this conversation is something that I'll listen to again and I'll share with people. And thanks everyone for listening, and we'll catch you next time.